Hi, first grade. Welcome to Science with Miss Conley. In science, we have been talking about the moon, earth, and sun. We have been talking about how the moon looks from Earth and how the moon looks if you were an astronaut, and we've been describing it. Today, we're going to listen to a read aloud called A Big Mooncake for Little Star. And we're going to make connections about this book to the moon. And this book is actually a fiction book, but it talks a lot about the moon and the phases. Here are our vocabulary words. I'm going to say the word and you're going to repeat after me. Mooncake, pattern, waning crescent, waxing crescent, and lunar. Mooncake. Does anybody know what a mooncake is? It's actually a Chinese dish that is eaten during the Mid-Autumn Festival, which is about lunar appreciation and moon watching. And lunar just means moon. Waning crescent. Well, the word waning means getting smaller. So waning crescent is when the moon is actually looking like it's getting smaller with the light patterns and it is going towards the new moon. So it would sort of look like this image right here. It's going to look like it's going to get smaller and smaller until it's the new moon and you will see nothing in the sky. Waxing crescent is after the moon is looking like it's gone and then it's starting to come back. So it's after the new moon and then the moon will start to look like it's getting larger and larger until it's a full moon again. So the moon goes in patterns. Here are our questions today while we do our lesson. What connections can you make to the story, A Big Mooncake for Little Star? And what lunar phase are we in? We're going to go ahead and read A Big Mooncake for Little Star. But before we do, Miss Conley is going to go ahead and put up these slides here. When you're reading, it's always good to notice things, to wonder about things, or to ask questions. And remember, the questions that we ask, we want them to be questions that really stretch our brain. So we don't really ask questions yes or no. We don't ask questions that give a yes or no answer, like, is the moon big? We already know the moon is big. You might ask a question like, what lunar phase are we in? How would you describe that? That would be a good question. All right, we're going to go ahead and read The Big Mooncake. Miss Conley's doing the read aloud.
Hi, first grade. It's Miss Conley. I'm going to go ahead and read a special book for you today. The title of this book is A Big Mooncake for Little Star. And I have to give a great shout out to Ms. Bronstein because this is actually her book. And I've never even read this book before until a couple of days ago. So while I'm reading this video, I want you to be thinking about some questions that you might have, things that you notice, and maybe a connection that you can make about what we already know about the moon and the moon phases. A big mooncake for a little star. Little Star's mama laid the big mooncake onto the night sky to cool. Now, Little Star, Mama said, your mooncake took us a long time to bake, so let's see if you can make it last a while. Can you remember not to touch this big mooncake until I tell you to? Yes, Mama, Little Star said, nodding. By By the way, a mooncake is a real thing. It's something that the Chinese celebrate, and it's to appreciate the lunar, which just means moon phases, and to appreciate the moon as well. And they have a big festival, and they eat mooncake. And Little Star remembered as she brushed her teeth, snuggled into bed, washed her face, and fell asleep. But in the middle of the night, Little Star woke up. I wonder what she's going to do. She forgot everything her mama had said and only remembered the big moon cake. Wow, what connections can you make about the moon when you look at this picture here? That means, what does it remind you of? Little Star's soft feet tiptoed to the big moon cake. Pat, pat, pat. Would her mama notice if she took a tiny nibble? Little Star didn't think so. Yum. By the way, nibble is just a small little crumb. But someone was coming. Little Star flew back to bed. The next night, Little Star remembered the big moon cake again. That one bite had been so sweet and tasty. Was the cake still there? I wonder what's going to happen next. Yes, it was. There was a big moon cake, an almost perfect circle, all alone and delicious in the sky. Would her mama notice if she took another tiny nibble? Little Star didn't think so. Yum! Little Star flew back to bed. I wonder if those little crumbs are kind of like the stars in the sky. That's a connection I make. The next night, what do you think Little Star remembered? The big moon cake, of course. Would Mama notice if she took another tiny nibble? Little Star didn't think so. Yum. I wonder what pattern that is on that moon. How is it changing shape? And the night after that, what did Little Star do? Nibble, nibble, yum. Night after night, Little Star took a tiny nibble after tiny nibble of the big moon cake. Wow, look at that. Night after night after night. By the way, today we're kind of like at this stage right here, the waning crescent. We're almost going to see nothing in the sky. Little Star's been eating a lot. Until one night, Little Star's mama went to look for the big moon cake. Where was it? It was gone. Instead of a glowing round cake, there was just a trail of twinkling crumbs. Little Star, her mama said, shaking her head even though her mouth was curving. You ate the big moon cake again, didn't you? Little Star looked up, her grin reflecting her mama's smile. Again, so it must be a pattern that Little Star does. Yes, Mama, Little Star said, nodding. Now let's go make another one. All right, go ahead and pause this video and have a conversation. Maybe you have some things that you wonder, or maybe you have some more questions that you might have. Or you can make a connection about this. Bye, first grade.
Now that we've read our read aloud, let's go ahead and go back to our questions. What connections can you make to a big moon cake for Little Star? Meaning, what does it remind you of? Or what do you think about when we read that story? What lunar phase are we in? Well, we've already talked about the first question during our read aloud. Let's talk about this next one. What lunar phase are we in? Well, this right here is an app that Miss Conley downloaded. It's a free app, and it actually has the month of September and all of the moon and the different phases that the moon phase is going in. So if you look at this week right here, which that's us, You can see right here, we're the waning crescent. We're a really, really small sliver. You might be able to see it in the sky. Miss Conley tried to find it last night, and Miss Conley could not find it. So in a couple of days, you'll see absolutely no moon at all. The sky will be dark just with stars. And then the next week, you can see it's going to start getting bigger and bigger, and it's going to be the waxing crescent, and soon it will be the first, it'll be a half moon. And this is probably the best time to see the moon because it's very, very bright. So I'm very excited about next week. I hope that it's not cloudy outside. If it's not, Miss Conley's going to be searching for the moon, driving around Raleigh looking for it, and then I'll record it and I'll show y'all. Okay guys, your assignment today is to talk to an adult about what lunar phase we are in. Remember, right now, we are in the waxing crescent where our moon kind of looks like this right here. But your parents can actually download a free app and y'all can look at it and look at the stars. All right guys.